Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, we're gonna be going a little bit of everywhere. Yep. We'll be talking about the top 5 cities to live in for families.
All right, guys, let's check it out. What's up, guys? I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my business partner, Will Grimes. And if it's your first time checking out our channel, welcome. And while you're here, you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, because I'm guessing you wanna know about Denver. And we drop a new video every Tuesday and Thursday telling you everything there is to know about Denver and the entire surrounding area.
100%, and we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means just as much as we love making these videos, we will have more to help you with those real estate needs. Yep. So that number that's popping up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. If we can help you, we would love to. With that being said, let's talk about it. Top 5 cities for families. Not just our opinion. We're gonna be talking to you guys about our prior clients and what the families from our prior clients that have come through. We've had young singles, old singles, families. We have people that consider their dogs family, but they don't have kids. But we'll be going into what families have decided to gravitate toward here in Colorado, in addition to some analytics and just some other data for you guys, and ultimately just showing you what's best.
Now, I would say the 2 big factors that we took into consideration, call it 3 big factors when we were making this list, like Will said, our clients and the actual data from people who have been moving here and using us to help them buy a new home in Colorado. Also school districts, also just a sense of community, that you have in conjunction with all of this. We think those are all very important factors that a lot of our clients tell us that they're looking for in a new city when they're moving here to Colorado. Right. So with that being said, let's dive into it. Number 1 may come as a surprise, may come as no big surprise to a lot of you, but that is actually going to be Boulder, Colorado. Now, Boulder has the number 1 school district in Colorado, or the Denver metro area. And on top of that, when it comes to a sense of community, really Boulder has really done it right.
Correct. And with everyone being able to work from, not everyone, with a lot of people being able to work remote nowadays, the commute back and forth into Denver, it's not as needed as much as it used to be. A lot of folks that live in Boulder or in the Boulder area, Boulder County versus like city of Boulder, they would commute down into Denver for work, but they like being off the beaten path. They like being, up in the mountains. But again, with like you being able to work so remote, a lot of folks being able to, it just makes that even more possible, guys. Like if you go into like fun hikes, great outdoor experiences, community,
parks everywhere.
You've got Market Street down, not Market, you've got Pearl Street down there. Like just a lot of really cool stuff, which also makes it super fun for kiddos and for families as well. Traditionally, the cherry on top, outside of all of that outdoor experience and that community feel, is the culture of having the university there. And Boulder School District is still number 1 in Colorado. So like preference wise, the only reason like why people don't necessarily would pick Boulder is just depending on your commute or where you want to be at in the state. If it just doesn't fit for you, hey, that's one thing, but that's why a lot of people still gravitate. It's still Boulder.
All right, number 2, no chronological order. Completely random order, no top 5 list. These are all just, I would say, the top 5 randomly chosen, randomly put in order. So number 2, Southeast Aurora.
Right.
Now, why did this make number 2 on the list? Again, these are in no particular order, as we just discussed. However,
he's in the doghouse.
However, Cherry Creek School District is definitely in the top 5 school districts.
So
typically around like, it'll battle like Littleton for like maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, but let's go into that a little bit further, right? Like with Cherry Creek schools, they are a large 5A size of school district, right? So you've got really big football stadiums, you've got extremely competitive sports, whether it be girls softball, track, volleyball. Volleyball is huge out here, especially for girls volleyball. You've got baseball, basketball, football for boys, huge out here, right? So like if there's, not that Denver doesn't have that, but like there's definitely a competitive culture to Cherry Creek schools. 100%. Cherry Creek has some state titles between a couple of different schools, and they've competed against Christian Valor, they've competed against Cherry Creek, and some of those they've won. So as far as like their competitive nature with athletics, it's not just the academics that they score well in, it's that side. So if you have kids that are in athletics and you enjoy that part of town, it's great because it's a little bit more flat, but it's elevated. You've got great views of the mountains. You've got Southlands Mall. That's out there. So like shopping in the Everything out there is great. You've got large stores, you know, Smoky Hill Road, E470, things are wide out there. So as far as like commuting, it's very smooth. Parking spots are big. Like you don't feel super crammed like you're down in like the city limits of Denver. Plenty of space, but then great academics and great athletics in addition to that. So between views, outdoor recreation, mall stuff, school stuff, it's hard to beat unless you just want to be actually in the mountains and you want to be on the completely opposite side of the clock. Southeast Aurora would be 4 o'clock.
There you go.
Boulder would be 10 and a half, 11 o'clock.
There you go.
So if you don't want to be all the way up there,
yeah.
definitely different. Definitely less fires in Southeast Aurora as far as natural fires.
Yep.
You know, Boulder being in the mountains, hey, every once in a while, a lot of times they're man-made. They're putting out a lot of restrictions and mitigating a lot of that nowadays, but that's still something to consider when you're in the mountains. So overall, great spot.
Now, as far as sense of community, you're going to have some really phenomenal neighborhoods down there. Some of the big ones that are top of mind: South Shore, Talons Reach, Blackstone.
Eagle Bend is up there.
Eagle Bend is up there. So, man, some phenomenal neighborhoods that are over there. One of the biggest things with those is that all of these neighborhoods are going to have pools, clubhouses. It's a really good way, especially for people coming in from another state, to really just get ingrained, get to meet the neighbors. You go to the pool, kiddos get to play with each other. It's a really good way to get ingrained in the community. So all of those neighborhoods out there are definitely going to be a big plus for Southeast Aurora.
Got it.
All right, working our way down south, we're going to hit Parker. Now, Parker is Douglas County School Districts. This is also the same school district as the next couple of places that we're gonna tell you, but I don't wanna jump ahead. And when it comes to again, a sense of community, you have some really big notable neighborhoods that are out there, again, similar to Southeast Aurora, in the sense of you're gonna have pools, clubhouses, a really good way to meet your neighbors. Now, I lived in Parker for a long time. If I had any one downside to say about Parker, it's commercially, they're not as developed as like a Southeast Aurora.
Yeah.
With Southlands. If you're in Parker, if you want to place like Southlands, you got to go to Southeast Aurora for that.
Correct, but in Parker, you're right between Southeast Aurora and you're in Castle Rock. So you're within 15 minutes of going to bigger malls, bigger locations.
Yeah.
And the pro that you get, as far as like if you want to find some space in Parker, not all spaces, but there is a lot of space in Parker where you get more lot size. Full acres, several acres, so it's a little bit more spread out, a little bit more low key depending on which part of Parker that you want to go to. And a lot of people enjoy that, and a lot of people are cool to just drive a little bit further. Now, speaking about driving further, that's if you want to go to like Southlands Mall, but Parker has grown in a sense of they've got their Costco. They've got King Soopers.
New Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's, Trader Joe's.
That's a big.
They've
big
got
Asian Parker
boondocks.
right now.
They've got go-karts and stuff for kiddos to ride. They've got groceries, so things you need on a daily basis. Whether you're North Parker or South Parker, you now have what you need on that main Highway 83, which is Parker Road. You have that. If you want to go to the bigger malls, you're gonna have to commute a little bit, but it's a bit quieter out there. You've got Main Street, which is like a small town, little coffee shops. It gets a little crowded down there if they have like any like county fair down there during the summer. Outside of that, it stays pretty low key. So it really just depends on like what you guys want to give up or what you're willing to give up in order to have something else, like being a little bit more low key. But either way, phenomenal spots.
It is.
In between some really big hitters, but really cool.
All right, now number 4, continuing to work our way down south. Will hinted at it just a second ago, but that is going to be Castle Rock.
The Rock! Castle Rock!
My name is Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Strong contender. I live in Castle Rock. Clearly, I'm partial. We moved from Southeast Aurora. Nothing negative. Been in Southeast Aurora for a long time. My significant other, she's been living in Southeast Aurora since I think she was 10. So it's fun to kind of have a change. You do have a lot of feel. There are some similar pieces of Southeast Aurora and Parker in Castle Rock, except for the fact that like within Castle Rock, you've got a huge outlet mall, but then right down the highway, 1 exit or 2 exits down, on the opposite side, you have Old Town Castle Rock with breweries, mom and pop shops, some really fun restaurants that tends to stay pretty low key. So you have a blend of Parker, Main Street in Parker, Old Town feel, but a little bit bigger than that. And then Southeast Aurora, the big mall, you've got the outlets. So you kind of have both of those blended here in Castle Rock. But here in Castle Rock, you feel like you're more in the mountains. A lot of homes are in and up onto the rocks. You do have some suburban areas that are a little bit more flat with some new builds and things like that. But just a really cool, the landscape and atmospherics out here are a lot of fun. Still very family friendly, still Douglas County schools. A lot of cool stuff.
Now, I love Castle Rock, and what I tell people, if you've been on a Zoom call with us or even watched our videos, You know, I feel like Castle Rock, bang for buck for the amount of house that you get for the dollar out here in conjunction with how much nature comes to you here in Castle Rock, overlaid with the new commercial developments, the old town downtown, which is amazing and constantly being rebuilt and revitalized. Man, Castle Rock checks so many boxes for people.
Well, and across the board, Castle Rock, Parker, Southeast Aurora, price point wise, they're all very similar.
Yeah,
it really just depends on like, man, you can have the outlet mall plus the old town plus feel like you're in the mountains for around the same price as like some of those other areas. But some people like Southeast Aurora because they like that it's a little bit more elevated and flat and you can see the mountains a lot better versus feeling like you're in the mountains.
Sure.
There's just some like, man, I don't know if it's like better. Like there's just qualities people appreciate than others, but by far, bang for buck, what you're getting in Castle Rock is really cool. And if you're considering any of these areas, I would say like, let's definitely turn every single stone. Let's look at all three of them and make sure that you find not only the area that you're looking for, but the house, because there is a little bit of like stylistic changes between Southeast Aurora, Parker, Castle Rock. A lot of similarities, but there is some home design changes or just differences that you'd want to look at as well.
Now, number 5, working our way back up north. This one's going to be a combo for you, and we'll explain why it's going to be a combo.
That's what he gets for not saying in no particular order in the beginning of the video.
Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. I get it. Now, going forward, we're going to have number 5, Highlands Ranch / Littleton.
Yes.
Now, the reason we put these two together is because there are so many parts of Littleton that you would swear Highlands Ranch, but it's Littleton. You're in Highlands Ranch and the address is Littleton. So there's a lot of crossover there. However, the school districts are different. Littleton School District is very, very, very good. That's normally number 2 or number 3 on the list of top 5, just under Boulder typically. Highlands Ranch is Douglas County. Highlands Ranch is going to be a little bit south and southeast of Littleton for you guys.
And Highlands Ranch gets a little bit tucked away, like depending on how you want to commute, where you want to go, and how the homes are a little bit further off the highway. Like there's just some commute things there, but in Highlands Ranch is a little bit older, so you're finding some great lot sizes.
And not older than Littleton, just older than some
older
of
in
these other
general,
areas we've
especially
talked about.
older than Southeast Aurora, older than
yeah.
a lot of the development in Castle Rock. So you'll find some great homes, you'll find some great lot sizes, but a lot of times those homes can be outdated. The investment for you is if you can get in at a great price, especially right now, and you can make some updates to that house, you're gonna be on the upside of that equity years from now if you decide to sell, because you'll be the one that does that remodeling, makes it look how you want to look. But there is some work. Some of those have been done. Some people have remodeled. A lot of them still need it, and it gets a little pricey depending on the square footage that you guys are doing as far as like size of home. But a lot of cool stuff with there. Littleton's super cool. You're also Littleton. You're getting closer to the mountains. You're more up onto that like front range.
Yep.
You guys know I hate saying that.
Nice
front range, right? Be a little cognizant of like a little bit more inclement weather that comes there because you are closer to the mountains, and you're a little bit further away as far as like from Denver Tech Center. Even though you can take 470 up and around, you're a little bit further out. So if you had to go to Denver or Denver Tech Center, Castle Rock, Parker, Southeast Aurora have so many different directions you can come at the city or Denver Tech Center from. That might be a better commute. And I will give an honorable mention. There's not a ton of homes out there, but Lone Tree.
Yes.
Lone Tree's got some really good stuff, and it's a little bit closer to, it's like right off of I-25 in Lincoln. Definitely some options there. Not as known, not as big as like your Highlands Ranch or your Littletons, but something to consider if we're looking at this like southern belt. Yeah,
and then just to touch on Littleton a little bit more. So Littleton is going to be much, much, much older homes. There are new build communities out there, don't get me wrong, but they are few and far between. But for the most part, Littleton, you're going to see homes built in the 1950s to 1970s. Some have been remodeled and stuff like that. If you're not looking at new build, that's the age you're going to see. And then when Will's talking about Highlands Ranch being outdated, a lot of those are just built in the 90s, you know, so a lot of them just have that more like 90s feel. However, one of our favorite neighborhoods, period, across the board.
Backcountry.
Backcountry. Yes, Backcountry is in Highlands Ranch. This is a newer build community. They're still building some custom homes at the very, very peak of it. But look at some of this B-roll from
and being on the backside
of
of Highlands Ranch, like just some of the views you get of the front range are incredible. Either way, guys, these are a lot of great options. Another great option for you guys would maybe be us, because this reminder is coming in like it always does. We are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with your real estate needs. So remember, that's back up below. We are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if there's something we can do, whether it's this video or any of the other ones, we would love to earn your business and help you guys. But with that being said, a lot of great things we covered today. Enjoy some more B-roll, some more drone footage. Probably a lot of questions that might come from some of these areas today, but we're happy to answer those. Enjoy the rest of the video. We'll see you guys very soon.
See you guys.